Let's get one thing straight. I'm an introvert. And honestly, being an introvert is one of the best qualities you can have in life. It is certainly better than being, well, an asshole. Pardon my French. It is better than being an extrovert, if you ask me. But lately, it seems like people have taken this concept of introversion and stretched it out so far out of shape that it's starting to lose all meaning. I don't have any social skills, so I must be an introvert. I can't speak up in front of a crowd, but that's okay, I'm just introverted. I'm always sad and depressed, but hey, isn't that just how introverts are? Excuse me, but could you please stop and consider paying your therapist a visit? What these so-called introverts fail to realize is none of these issues are defining traits of a true introvert. It doesn't matter if you're an introvert, extrovert, or an ambivert. Everyone deals with bouts of depression, shyness, and social awkwardness at some point in their life. Blaming introversion for your lack of social skills or chronic shyness is not only misguided, it's counterproductive. I got fed up with blaming my introversion for every shortcoming I faced, whether it was lack of communication skills or being painfully shy. So I decided to redefine what it means to be an introvert. And guess what? I discovered that the so-called introvert world has some serious flaws. So here are 5 myths and misconceptions about introversion you need to be aware of. Number 1. Introversion equals intelligence. I know this might sound a bit unconventional coming from a self-proclaimed introvert, but hear me out. You've all heard about the supposed magic of introverts, how many successful people are introverts, and how they seem to have some secret sauce for success. But is that really always the case? What's the ratio of successful introverts to the ratio of unsuccessful introverts? The only reason I think introverts are considered intelligent is that they spend so much time alone and in their thoughts. People tend to think they're cooking up the general formula that will combine the theory of quantum mechanics to that of classical mechanics. But they couldn't be more wrong. I don't spend a lot of time in my head. God knows I'm not thinking about quantum mechanics. Why should I think about quantum mechanics when I have Ice Spice's ass to think about? Anyways, think of introversion like preferring a cozy night with a book of our art party. It doesn't mean you're a genius. Just like enjoying pizza doesn't make you an expert chef. Being an introvert is about how you recharge, not how many brain cells you have. You could be an introvert who's a math whiz or an introvert who can do basic math without a calculator. That's me. It's just like being an extrovert. You could be a party animal who knows the square root of 169 or one who thinks pie is just something we ate. Intelligence is not something Santa wraps in a box and sneaks it into your house for you to find it on Christmas morning. Intelligence is something that is earned. It doesn't matter whether you're an introvert or an extrovert. If you don't strive for intelligence, you'll just be that dumb kid in the corner of the room. And improving intelligence is as simple as 1, 2, 3. It's the same old things we've been hearing over and over and over again. Read books, learn new skills, ask questions, stay curious, challenge your brain by taking challenges, learn new languages and cultures, etc. Number 2. Introversion equals shyness or lack of confidence. Introversion and shyness often get lumped together, but they are two very different things. Let me give you a personal example. When I was a teenager, I was so shy that talking to someone of the opposite sex felt like defusing a bomb. My words would freeze, and when they did come out, they stumbled over each other like drunks at closing time. Public speaking? Forget it. I couldn't even present my own hard work to a class without sweating bullets. And when it came to group conversations, if I had a point to add, I would sit silently worrying everyone would think I was stupid. Ironically, worrying about this made me stutter, proving exactly what I feared. People saw me as dumb, for lack of a better word. But everything changed when I went to college. I realized if I didn't get a grip on my confidence, I might as well kiss my dreams goodbye. So I decided to change. I dove into YouTube videos on how to be more confident, devoured books on self-esteem, here are a few I recommend, and practiced everything I learned. 2 years later, here I am. Now, I'm not claiming to be the most confident guy in the room, but at least I can say what I think without fear of judgment. I can stand in front of a crowd and talk without feeling like I'm about to faint. I can even speak to the opposite sex without my voice cracking like a pubescent teenager. But does this mean I'm no longer an introvert? Not at all. In fact, as I get older, I find myself becoming more introverted. I still cherish my alone time, spending most days lost in thought, analyzing everything. So no, being shy doesn't mean you're an introvert. It just means you might have low self-esteem or struggle with confidence, issues that affect both introverts and extroverts. The key isn't to change your personality, but to boost your self-confidence. Sure, you can read every book on confidence and binge watch videos on self-esteem, but the real magic happens when you put that knowledge into practice. For example, you learn that the first step to improve your self-esteem is take risks and step out of your comfort zone. Don't just say, okay, I got it, I should step out of my comfort zone without actually doing it. Step out, go meet people, embrace that initial awkwardness, feel that low confidence. The first time might be uncomfortable, but I promise it gets easier. After a few times, it won't feel like a daunting task anymore, more of a norm, and that's where your confidence starts to grow. Remember, it's all about those small steps, feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Number 3. Introversion equals depression. Picture this, you walk into a room full of people and spot the quiet introverted kid in the corner, looking all worked up and glum. You think, poor kid must be depressed. Yeah, definitely depressed. With your moral superiority on full display, you decide to step in and console them. Hey, what's bothering you? You wanna talk about it? Only to be met with, what? Nothing is bothering me, I enjoy being alone, just leave me the hell alone. Well, that was awkward. That should teach you to mind your own business. Depression is like having a constant rain cloud over your head no matter where you go. It's an actual mental health condition that affects mood, energy, and outlook on life. Introversion is simply a preference for less noise, smaller social circles, and the ability to have a conversation with oneself without it being weird. So introverts are not depressed, they're just picky about who they spend their energy on. They might skip the party, but it's not because they're sitting at home crying. They're probably binge watching a series or diving into a good book. They are just as capable as joy as anyone else. They just don't need to shout it from rooftops. If you're happy, you don't have to prove it. Number 4, being an introvert means you're sensitive. So here's the thing. Being an introvert doesn't automatically make you sensitive. I mean, I'm not sensitive. Wait, nobody said you are. Oh, I just had to clarify that. Why do you need to clarify that? Wait a second. Are you sensitive? Alright, you caught me. I'm so delicate that the slightest inconvenience can ruin my entire day. But hey, don't take my word for it. Let's dive into this. Being an introvert often means enjoying solitude and needing time to recharge. It doesn't mean we are all walking emotional wrecks. Sure, sometimes we might react strongly to minor annoyances, but that's not necessarily about being sensitive. It's more about the difference between our private space and the bustling world outside. Imagine a squirrel, calm and collected in its cozy nest, but easily startled by a loud noise. That's a bit like how introverts can be. Content in our own space, but occasionally thrown off by the chaos of the outside world. So next time we encounter an introvert and assume they are ultra sensitive, remember, it might just be that they're a squirrel in the middle of a noise festival, or maybe they're not sensitive at all, they're just enjoying their peace and quiet. And if you accidentally bump into the world, don't be surprised if they're a bit touchy. In short, introverts are like flowers in a hurricane. We are not necessarily sensitive, we are just trying to keep our petals from getting blown off. And if we need to clarify that, well, don't be surprised if we do it with a hint of sarcasm and a dash of humor. Number 5. Introverts don't like people. Yeah, this is probably true. I don't like people. But hey, that's just a personal preference. It doesn't mean all introverts don't like people. On the contrary, introverts value people. What happens is that we prefer a small circle with individuals we can connect with and share deep conversations. For an introvert, hell isn't a fairy abyss. It is a situation where you're stuck with someone who will stop talking. Endless meaningless chatter, that's the introvert's equivalent of a horror movie marathon. Imagine being trapped in a conversation loop that makes you wish for a mute button. It's not like we dislike people. It's just that we really don't like pointless conversations. Here's the thing. Introverts are like selective friends with benefits, but instead of being romantically involved, we are just really picky about who we let into our social bubble. We value deep connections over a sea of casual acquaintances. If we are at a party, it is usually not to escape our solitude but to spend quality time with the select few who truly get us. It is also worth noting that introverts can be incredibly loyal friends. We might not always be the loudest cheerleaders at every social event, but we are there for the big moments and the little ones. We remember your birthday, even if we prefer a quiet coffee catch-up over a rowdy celebration. And yes, if we are engrossed in our own little world, it's not because we are ignoring you. We are probably just mentally strategizing how to escape that conversation about the latest reality TV show, or plotting our next move in the game of avoiding awkward small talk. So if you find yourself in an introvert small circle, congratulations, you have made it to the VIP section of meaningful relationships. Just remember, if we are quiet, it's not because we don't like you, it's because we are saving our energy for when it really counts. Or maybe not. So yeah, that's some of the myths about introverts I could gather. Feel free to add more in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe.
Wait a minute.